Yeah, this is one I notice not with myself, like not with people our age as much.
Okay.
But people that are like 2-3 years younger than us is where I start to see, like, I see it with my brother who's like 2 years younger than me, and people around his age, I see it all the time. We have lost attention spans.
Yeah.
To the point where, especially younger people, like, people in their like early 20s, like really, like 21, like don't watch TV and movies anymore because their brain is so fried from the social media vertical reel content farm. I see this constantly. Like people that are like, oh yeah, I don't watch TV. It can't hold my attention. I'm like, oh, your brain is fried that you can't like watch television. Like, I'm like, I have diagnosed ADHD, bro, and I can watch television. Like, it is not that like you've done something irrevocably bad to your brain. Like, I'm like, I got like executive dysfunction sometimes, and like if I'm not on my meds, I lose things. Like, there's all this fun stuff. Like, you can't look at something for 30 minutes. You can't look at like a show with pretty colors and flashing lights and fun sounds for 30 minutes. That can't hold your attention. You're cooked, brother. You're done. It's over. Pack it in. How are you gonna have a child? Like, yeah, I think the attention span has disappeared. Doesn't exist.
Why is your kid outside running around by himself? He couldn't hold my attention.
Actually. I'm fucking scrolling through TikTok, watching I'm watching the entire I'm watching everything. I'm watching Inception in 61 minute 2-minute chunks on YouTube Shorts right now, actually. So it's out of order 1 minute vertical chunks is what I like. That's how I consume my
out of order. Oh my god,
out of order.
That's vile.
I'm just saying, bro. You see that? Oh, do you ever see that like on the reels where they'll put like a clip from a movie and it'll be like clip number 42 of 80. Like, people upload full movies into reels.
Oh my god.
It's so funny to me. It's over for the attention span. I can't even imagine what a current like 15-year-old attention span is at this point. It's got to be fucked. They got to be absolutely fucked.
Power to them teachers, man. Power to them teachers. Welcome to another episode of Couch Coach, the podcast featuring an all-star staff of the best to never do it. Without a couch, you're just a coach. Without a coach, it's just a couch. With both, you're one of us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you got some shit to say, leave a comment. And now for your first couch coach, we have the one and only Mr. 500. Mr. Bountiful Harvest. Rumor has it he doesn't live in a gated community, but his community does have a gate. He's a man of many names, but you can call him Johnny.
I'm Mr. Much Better Than 500 at this point, boss man. But we'll get to that.
I don't want to hear it. But hold on, before we get too far. Rockets, Lakers tonight. Who you got?
Let's go Lakers.
You going Lakers?
Let's go Lakers.
All right, the Luka Lakers. And for your last couch coach, we have yours truly, founder of Omnipresence Productions, co-founder of the Couch Coach Pod. Some call me Akira, some call me Commissioner, but you can call me Coogii. And I also have the Hookah Luka Lakers in 5. Now kicking off the show with a bang, with a level of unprecedented foresight. In the segment where shots in the dark become game winners. We won't call ourselves prophets, but if you do, we won't argue with you. It's time for Sportstradamus. And now, Johnny, we talked about this before we got on. You have one that's wrong. Way wrong. You had St. John's. St. John's all the way. You mentioned it last week, admittedly. I didn't remember exactly what you had said. And then I just saw it earlier today, and I was like, ooh, that's a tough one. Way wrong. You could still be right, though, about USC versus USC.
I could technically still be right. I just don't feel very confident. Sans Juju Watkins. But,
yeah.
I mean, at the very least, I could at least have the women's champion correct, even though, USC had me watching a nail biter the other night against Maryland. That was rough. Not USC, or South Carolina had me watching a nail biter against Maryland the other night. It came down to the absolute wire, but championship pedigree. Dawn Staley and the girls pulled it off. Great finish.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, hey, they might make it despite the Juju thing. They're still a good team. They're just obviously Juju's their best player. I don't know. I'm taking Haley Van Lith all the way. TCU, baby. Not a prediction.
Yeah.
Not a prediction, but I'm just putting it out there. No other.
Well, I mean, I really hate to say it, man, but I think you might be wrong on that one. I got to be honest with you. You say we'll see.
We'll see.
Except TCU lost today.
It already happened?
Yeah, I already lost today.
Wait, what time was the game?
I don't remember exactly. Let me tell you exactly what time.
It had to be like 7 o'clock, bro. It had to just finish like 30 minutes ago.
I didn't watch it. I've been out all day, but yeah, I mean it was earlier. It was 7. It was at 7, so I was getting ready for this. So
rest in peace.
Unfortunately, sorry, Haley.
I'm sorry, Haley. I didn't mean to do that to you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Other.
Right now, USD is playing UConn. UConn is up 14-11. So we're going to see if Paige embarrasses herself or wins a game she really should win. But it's a real shame that we didn't get to have Juju versus Paige in a battle of the stars.
Yeah, no, it's a shame. It's a shame, yeah. If Paige lost this, I don't know what it would what that might say about her career ultimately at the end. But anyway, Johnny, no other correct or incorrect predictions. We got pretty much a couple weeks to the draft till we figure out some more, unless you have some recent ones or we have some that come up, and I actually do. I'm going to kick it off with my 3 predictions, Johnny, for this week. I'm going to join party a little bit late, March Madness. I bowed out a few weeks ago. I had Kansas winning it all. Didn't work out for me. Or my bracket. But you know who will? You know who will make it to the championship this week? My first prediction, Houston. Houston is going to hold Duke to their lowest point total all season in a win, reaching the championship.
Houston's really evolved into a really class program. I mean, the past handful of tournaments, they've just been monstrous. They're due, Yeah, so it'd be cool.
They've been getting a lot of great transfers. Cooper Flag, I'll see you in Utah next year, but this will be your last game in a Duke uniform. Prediction number 2, Florida, Auburn. They play also on the other side. Now, these two teams are real familiar with each other. They both play in the SEC. And because of that, I think this game's going to go to overtime.
Okay.
No winner. I don't care who wins. But they are going to go to overtime.
It'll never end, actually.
We'll get a little bit of extra basketball this weekend. And for my third prediction, this might be the boldest of all of them. There's going to be 4 first-round quarterbacks selected in the draft next April. Most think 2.
Any idea who the other 2 are?
Some say
aside from the obvious 2.
Some say it could be 3. I say it's going to be 4. Do you want me to name the 4? Is that part of the prediction? Do you want me to make that part?
I'm just curious. You don't have to make that. You don't have to canonize the 4, but I'm just curious if there's any 2 extras that are calling to you beyond Cam and Shedeur.
Okay. So there's going to be 4. That's the prediction. I'm not going to put the quarterbacks into the prediction. Obviously, we have Cam and Shedeur. Obviously. Mm-hmm. Number 3 is going to be Jackson Dart.
Number 4, Milroe.
Number four is going to be Tyler Shaw, Louisville.
Interesting. No Milroe, no McCord.
McCord's a favorite. I think Milroe slips due to some of the technicality issues that he has. He's a great athlete, and he's got a great arm, but his accuracy's lacking. He's basically, I think he's almost a poor man's Anthony Richardson. And look at that man right now competing for a job.
That's the problem. Is I think Anthony Richardson really scared
from black quarterbacks.
Not black quarterbacks. The first pick of the draft is going to be a black quarterback. But I think he scared off that archetype, for teams of drafting that archetype, the like raw, maybe doesn't throw it as well, but is a freak athlete and a great locker room presence. Like, because that was the thing. Like, not only was Anthony Richardson a monstrous athlete and had a cannon arm, but he ticked every like locker room box. He had all the personality traits that they wanted.
Right.
Gave a great interview.
Man just had a sub 55% completion rate.
Just terrible. Yeah. I mean, Trey Lance levels, not great. So
yeah.
I could see it scaring people off of Milroe. And is it fair? No, but
life's not fair.
Life's not fair.
Life's not fair. Is it fair when a man gets a marijuana mask video bomb dropped on his draft day? No, it's not fair.
No,
but it still affects your draft.
He's doing fine today, though. I think it turned out all right for Mr. Tunsil.
He is, and for most of these quarterbacks, they'd honestly be better off getting picked later in the draft anyway. As far as where they go to as well, I mean, some of these quarterbacks, you don't want to go to a team where they need you. You want to go to a team where you're the last piece. So, yeah. But anyway, those are my 3 predictions, Johnny. I'm going 3 for 3 on these 3. What are your 3 predictions? Hit me with it.
Okay. I've got a couple for you. One of them, we've got some NBA stuff for me to start out. I'm calling who is going to come out of the play-in in the East. So this is not, so there's going to be the 4 teams in the play-in. That's pretty much locked in.
Yep.
Who the 4 teams are. There's a very low chance of any of that shifting. The seeds they'll occupy might shift, but it will be these 4 teams. I'm just calling who's coming out of it. And I'm saying Atlanta in the 7, Chicago in the 8. So that is my call, that we will get an Atlanta-Boston matchup in the first round and a Chicago-Cleveland matchup in the first round.
Is Josh Giddey breaking hearts?
I don't know about that, but I had this prediction last week in preparation for our last episode, and that performance by Chicago in the week between, in the interim, just kind of reinforced it. Here's my next one. I think New York Knicks are going into the playoffs on a good note. And what I mean by that is we've got Cleveland and we've got the Celtics in the month of April. I think we're taking them both. Okay. I'm predicting that the New York Knicks are going to beat Cleveland and the Boston Celtics in the month of April, heading into the playoffs, go in on a good note.
That's pretty bold.
I'm calling it. Come on, man. We're due. We haven't beat them once. We're due one. And finally, once again, I had these predictions last week. So now this doesn't seem like that bold of a prediction. But last week, I was already...
He's playing that card.
I was reserved to it last week.
LeBron?
More so, I now am pretty much certain, and I hate to say it, but Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback. I hate to say it, but Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback. And that is my 3rd prediction. And now with this info about him and DK working out together.
That's crazy.
I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point. Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback.
Let me ask you this, though. Is there a chance that workout went so bad Aaron Rodgers left and was like, I'm not doing this?
I hope so. I hope so. Shucks. If there's any prediction I hope I'm wrong about, it's this one. But I just can't really. It's wishful thinking at this point. I would be delusional at this point to think that Aaron Rodgers is not my quarterback. And you know what? I earned it. I said it all season. All season I said there's no shot the Steelers would ever consider this. It would shake my faith in the Steelers as an organization if we brought Aaron Rodgers into it. It would shake my faith in Mike Tomlin, who seems to be the driving force behind this. He seems to be the guy that is caping for Aaron Rodgers. And honestly, I've been a big Tomlin supporter this whole time. But if Aaron Rodgers comes in and we have a 6-win season, that might be enough for me to say Tomlin's done, cooked, over. Get him out. If Aaron Rodgers comes in and he is that, like, I love Tomlin, but maybe he's a little too confident in himself if he thinks that Aaron Rodgers is a good idea. And if Tomlin has Aaron Rodgers lead us to the playoffs and maybe a playoff win, then he's the best coach ever. What can you say? At this point, if we can do this with a reinvigorated Bengals, a stronger Chargers, a stronger Broncos, Miami healthy, like the Patriots retooling, like all these teams that could be vying for these wild card playoff spots, and the Steelers somehow still sneak in, still make it in there with Aaron Rodgers as our quarterback. Tomlin's the greatest coach to ever live. So there we go.
He would look good in that jersey, though. That uniform, I pictured it the other day. I was
Everyone does.
He looked pretty good.
Everyone looks good in that jersey. It's one of the best jerseys.
I'm trying to think. Who wouldn't look good in the Steelers uniform?
I don't know.
Sebastian Janikowski.
I think he would look sick in that.
You think so?
He wore black his whole career. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. Anyway, Johnny, in this next segment, Instant Replay, we get behind the booth for when our viewers need coverage on the biggest stories in sports from a different angle. Now, LaMelo Ball, we've discussed him a couple times in the past, Johnny, whether or not, he was a player you could win with as number one. It's been announced. Now, it's not too crazy when you get players announced at this point in the season that they're out for the year. There's about 8-9 games for some teams, 7 for others. So really what makes sense to play if you're not going to make the playoffs. But either way, he's getting minor procedures on his wrist and ankle injuries. Two injuries that have been a chronic issue for him, especially the ankles compared to Steph Curry early in his career. But he's done for the season. But do you think LaMelo Ball will ever turn it around and become a player that can lead the Hornets to a win, or any team to a championship for that matter?
He'd have to fully reinvent his personality. I just don't think he's a guy that cares that much about winning. I don't see the ferocity of a competitor in this guy. He's been in the league for a handful of years now, and it's you put up numbers, but you don't do anything beyond that. Cade Cunningham took the listless, terrible, one of the worst teams literally in NBA history in the Pistons last season, who had the worst record in the league and went on the longest losing streak in the history of the NBA and turned them into a playoff team in one season without any real major acquisition except Tobias Harris. There is a level of you are just a winner. You care that much. You're a leader. You're a winner, and you can turn it around even at a young age. And this is Cade Cunningham's 3rd season in the league. What is this? LaMelo Ball's 5th. So I just don't think you have the level of play and competition that's required to win. You're a better Zach LaVine, and that's fine. That's what you are. You're better as far as what you do for a team. You put up numbers. You're fun to watch, but at the end of the day, you are not actually considered amongst the real stars, the real forces. You're a non-factor in the league. and your team is at the very bottom of the rankings, not the very bottom, but one above it with an E next to it right now. So
who's below them?
In the East, I think. God, I'm trying to remember now who's the lowest in the East.
Right they're not last in the East. I thought you went to the league. Okay, I was saying. I think
no, in the
Jazz
East, there's there's one team below the Hornets and the Wizards. Yeah. Who? I mean, you don't want to be in that class. You don't want to be in the class of the Wizards. I believe so. Let me double check this so that I'm not misleading our beautiful, beautiful fans. But I believe that
why you do that. Now, it's tough to say he's a all-star snub. I mean, especially look at players like Norman Powell who didn't get in. I wouldn't expect a player like LaMelo to get in because at the end of the day, I don't know, part of the all-star thing's about winning. I think LaMelo can win. I honestly think the best move for him would be to get the Golden State. That's where he should be in the first place because they should have picked him instead of Wiseman. He needs to learn from Curry. I think Curry's the only player who's been through what he's gone through, the only player that's similar to him in play style. I think that's what he's got to do.
Yeah.
He's got to get to Golden State somehow.
He needs to get coached up and something. I don't know. It's
but not
just
a coach though. Like a coach isn't. He needs a player, a
mentored. Model. How about that's the better word? There's something missing in his game. That it's like you do have these gaudy numbers. You are an excellent passer. You are a legitimate offensive threat, and you're built to be a good defender as a 6'4", 6'5" point guard. You actually should be, but for some reason that doesn't happen. Like your brother was a great defender in Lonzo. You know what I'm saying? That was the best part of his game. Right. It's like, can you now harness that? I don't know what it is. There's something he should be better, but he's not. And when he first came in the league, I thought he was going to be special based on just how gifted of a passer he was. But it's like that level of passer, you're supposed to translate it to making your team better, and it's just not. And mind you, I do want to give him I will give him a little bit of grace and say you are on maybe the second worst run franchise in the sport. So I don't want to give you too much crap because the Wizards is maybe the only worst place you could be. There are.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, the Wizards are probably the only team that is worse run in the last decade than the Charlotte Hornets. Post Jordan taking over the Hornets, there's been a joke franchise.
Terrible.
So it's I know he's not there anymore, but or at least not as heavy of a presence there. I think he still owns a little bit, but it's just you know what I mean? I just want him to show that he can elevate a poorly run franchise instead of the what if of, was it just the franchise or what? Right. At least be competing for a play-in spot. 10 out of the 16 teams make it to the tournament. Or make it to the playoffs, bro. Have a shot. You can't even make it into the 10? What are we doing here? Yeah. So.
No, 100%. I'll tell you what. My GOAT would never run a franchise into the ground. But anyway.
That's fair.
Anyway. Also this past week, Russ. We talked about him last week. He's making some more history. Russ surpasses Kobe. 16th all-time on the steals list Friday night. Not a lot to talk about with this. I just wanted to point out there, Russ, very underrated,
good job, Russ.
Very undercredited, especially from the youth these days. Knicks signing PJ Tucker to a 2-year deal, team option in the second year. Johnny, does this make a difference in the playoffs for the Knicks?
Nice locker room presence, playoff experience, veteran 3-and-D type guy. It's fine. I think it doesn't really move the needle that much, no. But it's a good signing on a team that's relatively young, that doesn't have a lot of veteran presence on it across the board. I mean, you think of what the Knicks are. Is there a guy on the Knicks that's older than 30 that is besides what is campaign 30 maybe? Otherwise, there's really not. Everyone else is in their 20s. So it's like, yeah, you bring on a PJ Tucker who's been there. He's played in championship games. He's played in big playoff games. It could be cool.
It's been on a lot of teams.
Been on a lot of teams.
Yeah, no, they got themselves he's a pretty good corner boy. He just stands in the corner. He'll get the ball. He'll shoot
it was like Bojan gave us some really good minutes in the playoffs last year.
Y'all still have him?
No, I don't believe so. I don't think he's even in the league anymore. If he is, I don't see him around. He might be somewhere about it. Nah, he doesn't play for us anymore.
Him with the Jazz was prime Bojan.
Yeah. No, he just gave us good, veteran minutes. There was, one game where he had, high 20s in the playoffs. It was solid. So you got, it's nice to have a guy like that on the squad for the playoffs. Someone who's been there before and can rally the troops.
Yeah, 100%. Moving on to the NFL, Johnny. Cam Ward had a successful private workout with the Titans. While there are people in the NFL who feel taking Sanders third overall would be, and they use the words quote-unquote rich, Browns announced today are having dinner with Shador this week, confirmed by Kevin Stefanski. So a little two-part there. Is it a done deal? Cam Ward to the Titans, first part. Second part, why all this Shador hate lately? What's wrong with taking him third? Why do you think he's being so heavily critiqued? Compared to Cam, I haven't heard really any bad reports about Cam this entire time.
Because Shador's louder than Cam. And I think there's a lot of people that are put off by vocal confidence and don't like it. And some people like vocal confidence coming from certain people, but don't like it coming from other people. If you catch my drift, that maybe a vocally confident young black man playing quarterback that rubs some old white billionaire owners the wrong way. Wouldn't be shocked. So, I think it's a lot of just dumb stuff. At the end of the day, I think Shador, I've always been a Shador guy. I think having the killer instinct, having that confidence is necessary, especially when you're going to a likely a bad team that you need to get people to rally around you. I think that's what you want. You don't want a guy that is too meek or is not going to be a presence in the locker room. You want him to come in and be a leader and set the tone immediately. So I think the thing with Shador too is that there's no mega X factor off the charts part of his game beyond the fact that he is beyond the, I guess, you could say, toughness, that he has shown the ability to take a beating for an entire game and not have it seemingly affect him. And then he's very accurate, but then some people poo-poo that and say, oh yeah, he was throwing 70+% accuracy, but that was all dump offs and screens. It wasn't.
Yeah, it's more timing. Real. It's more timing as far as his anticipation than it is the accuracy itself of the ball.
But at the end of the day, that's still, you're running dump offs and screens with a terrible poverty O line. So, which to execute a screen properly and a dump off properly, you still do have to have some good O line play, or at least be able to operate in spite of your bad O line play. Yeah, I just think I think there is also the aspect of people just are afraid of the spectacle of Shador. They're afraid of what could come with it, with the Dion of it all and the outspokenness of it all. But I think at the end of the day, he's not the type of quarterback who busts.
Right.
There are not a chance. You know what I mean? What a quarterback who is a bust looks like, as far as like what their skill set looks like and how they come in and where their flaws are. I don't think that's Shedeur. Like so I don't know why these people are as scared about it. He's not going to be bad. The question is, like, is he a franchise savior? That remains to be seen. But
yeah,
I wouldn't be concerned. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I'm drafting him at 2. If I'm the New York Giants, I'm drafting him at 3, and I wasn't going to sign Jameis. Or you know what I mean? Or if I'm so if I'm one of these teams that needs a quarterback, I'm taking him.
Yeah, some reports say the Giants are still intrigued by him. Could you imagine that? Russell Wilson, Shedeur, and Jameis?
Yeah, the only thing I've heard about that is just the way they've structured Jameis's deal, that they could just cut him if they got Shedeur, or they hold on to them like one of those guys, and if wait on a QB injury and ship him off mid-season for like a 5th, you know?
Yeah.
So
probably a team-friendly contract for sure. Oh, without a doubt. No, but yeah, I think it's a done deal. Cam Ward. I mean, sometimes you wonder if reports are smoke screens. You know, teams release a lot of reports because they don't want to pick a player. They don't want a different team to pick them. So if they think that team behind them is not going to pick them, they'll wait. But obviously they have the first pick, so you don't really. What's the point in smoke screening? Nobody's going to pick your guy.
The NFL would be an absolute bedlam if the draft rolls around and the first pick of the draft, the Titans take Travis Hunter or
like something crazy.
Like, it would cause a ripple effect through the NFL because every team would immediately panic. It'd be like, whoa, hold on. This guy, you know what I mean? It would be funny, but I can't imagine. I think you just don't overthink it. Will Levis sucks.
Will Levis.
Will Levis is not good.
You know when I knew Will Levis was a bust? When that man, what was he saying? What was it? The mayonnaise thing, is it? He eats mayonnaise or something like that?
He puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Yes, he puts mayonnaise in his coffee. That's when I knew he was a bust.
Foul. When I saw that, I went, he's either going to be terrible or he's going to be the greatest quarterback ever. It's one of the two. When I saw the draft, they're talking about that. Like just some lunatic, crazy boy shit. Like, I think I honestly, there was that one game, do you remember? It was probably like week 10 or week 11 last year where Levis went off and had like a really good game. I can't remember who it was against, but I remember we came on here and I was saying Will Levis, I think, just solidified another year as the starter with how good he played in that game. And then he played so poorly for the rest of the season that it was like, nope, throw it out the window, not happening.
No, not happening. They need a quarterback, honestly. I feel no matter who you pick, if you don't have a quarterback, like, think about it. The Browns have Myles Garrett, and they're still trash. Yeah. If you don't have a quarterback, you can't win. Cam Ward, Shedeur, they're going to both go in the top 3. Top 4 easy. But like I said, we got 2 more coming in the next 26. Moving along, Indianapolis, Johnny, this year, we talked about it a little bit. Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson, been announced they're going to split snaps. The QB competition will start in the spring. So first, I want to get your prediction on this. Who's winning this competition, Johnny? Who's leading the Colts to the chip next year? Anthony Richardson
the chip.
Or Daniel Jones?
God, I want it to be
Hold on, my bad. Daniel Jones.
I want it. You're talking about Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones.
I want it to be Anthony Richardson, but I kind of think it's going to be Daniel Jones. I'm just like, Daniel Jones played in the most poverty franchise situation. I mean, the Giants aren't technically a poverty franchise, but man, that offense was a poverty offense. You know, and it's just like, he looked at some points in his career, you know, especially pre-ACL, he looked better than Anthony Richardson. And so it's like you have Shane Steichen, who's a good play caller. You have a competent O-line and solid receivers, not anything crazy. Jonathan Taylor. And we watched what Anthony Richardson looked like in that system, and it was bad. I just am like, unless Anthony Richardson made a really big leap in the offseason and like figured something out, I think it'll end up being Daniel Jones. I just haven't. I've seen Daniel Jones play competently, and I've seen for an entire game, and I've seen Anthony Richardson look competent on one play, like here and there. He looks like he'll do one magnificent bomb it down the field, and Alec Pierce catches it, for a 87-yard touchdown. That's sick. But otherwise, I want it to be Anthony Richardson, but I'm not confident in him. So I'm going to go, if I'm going to stamp it, if you're making me pick, I'm going Indiana Jones.
I'll lead off with this. I'm not a huge, so it's weird. I like QB competitions in theory. I'm not a huge fan of them because here's what's going to happen. You're going to have Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones split every first team rep from now until September. And neither of them are going to be ready. Better yet, you know who's going to get the advantage in a competition in which you're going to only get half the first team reps? The quarterback that has had the most experience. The quarterback that's been in the league longer, which would lean towards Daniel Jones. But I do ultimately, they kind of revealed their hand again when they paid $14 million to a backup quarterback. He's making more than Richardson's still on a rookie deal, so he's making at least, 3 to 4, maybe 5 times what Richardson's making.
Yeah, that's why you're bringing in Daniel Jones, though, is because you want competition for Richardson, and you want to put him up against a guy that, like I said, it's smart. You're bringing in a guy that the league knows is bad, that they're like, this is not a good quarterback. This is not a good guy. This is a bottom-level starter, mid-tier backup, and we are going to put you up against him, and if he looks better than you in practice, we know that we have to move off you. Like there's no hope for the Anthony Richardson project. Pack it in, it's done. So I get why they do it. If you have to do that, if you have to bring in Daniel Jones' competition, don't you already have your answer?
You already have your answer.
Yeah.
He's not competing with JJ McCarthy. Arch. You know what I'm saying? Minnesota didn't keep him to compete.
Right. So they're tanking for Arch. They know what they're doing.
Tanking for Arch. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Like we talked about, Manning back in Indy. I'd love to see him in Denver, but unfortunately, unfortunately for timing wise, we got Bo, so we're good. We're good in Denver. Moving along, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy had an interview this past week in which he blamed the 49ers' struggles this season on fatigue. He said, guys were tired, and that is why this season didn't go well. I'll ask you, Johnny, is fatigue the reason the 49ers season didn't go well?
No, the reason the 49ers season didn't go well is because Brock Purdy's not a good enough quarterback to win despite injuries on the skill positions. Like, they were just so injured. Like, I'm not going to give them too much crap. They were mega injured. Like, Ayuk was out for almost the entirety of the season. C-Mac was out for almost the entirety of the season. Kittle missed like 3-4 games. All of their running backs got injured.
Multiple times.
Ricky Pearsall got shot. Debo missed a handful. Like, they were so mega super injured, and Nick Bosa got injured. Like, a lot of injuries. Hufanga, I also think, was injured. Like, there was so much. So I'm not gonna say like they had every right to go to win 6 games. I'm not gonna get mad at them for it. Coming off the Super Bowl is pretty depressing. But at the end of the day, it just tells you Brock Purdy looked bad, though. By the end of the season, when he had no help, with no Christian McCaffrey specifically, he looked bad. He didn't look like a quality quarterback. He looks like a starter. Like, I still think Brock Purdy's a starter. He's just not. He's angling. He's negotiating for a contract right now. So
that's true.
He's just trying to be very politic about it. But I think paying Brock Purdy a cent over $45 million a year is a mistake. That's how I actually feel. I think you're shackling yourself.
Once you pay him, he's got to be the guy.
Yeah, and he's not. You've already seen it. Like, you're not capable of overcoming injury and problems and issues with the roster. When the whole roster is healthy, then Brock Purdy looks like a very, very good quarterback, very competent. But you slot in 20 quarterbacks in this league into that San Francisco offense from 2 years ago, and they're also going to, win 12, 13 games and make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So,
what would be nice? It'd be pretty cool. If it doesn't work out with Brock, we get a little Kyle Shanahan, Kirk Cousins reunion.
It'd be fun.
It'd be interesting.
I'm hoping Cowherd's prediction, his conspiracy theory is right.
Is it Kirk to the Steelers?
No. That Aaron Rodgers is holding out in case Brock Purdy's negotiations fall apart.
Oh my! Oh, so he goes to the team that passed over him.
Mm-hmm.
The team that broke his heart when he wanted to go back home.
He goes home.
Yeah, that'd be a nightmare. It'd be a fun year.
It'd be funny.
You'd be happy. You wouldn't have to worry about your streak no more.
Yeah, I can feel good about that. I know Racist Mason can win 9 games. I've seen him do it. I know he can do it.
You have. I think you have 2 predictions that support each other, and then one that conflicts it. I feel like you have.
What's that?
No. Actually, I conflict it because I have the Aaron retiring, but you have Aaron going to the Steelers. But then you also have a conditional if he goes to the Steelers.
If he goes to the Steelers, Tomlin's streak is over, which I still stand by. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
Bad for you, good for me. Today, the NFL made an announcement. They updated their uniform policy, Johnny. Not much to talk about on this, but throwbacks and alternate uniforms can be worn up to 4 times a season now. Is this a good move, bad move? Doesn't matter. You don't care?
Hell yeah, man. You should see how I play Madden. When I play a franchise on Madden, I'm just every single game I'm throwing in the alt uniform. I'm not trying to go out there in the boring home uniform. Hell no. If I'm the Titans, I'm the Houston Oilers. if I'm playing as the Bucks, I'm wearing that creamsicle. I love me. If I'm the Steelers, I'm going Bumblebee. I love wearing the alt uniform. That's my favorite. I love an alt uniform. I think let them all be alt uniform. Wear a different uniform every game. What do I care? I love that shit.
No, that's fire. I actually, until today, I didn't know that there was a limit to the amount of alt uniforms they could wear.
I always figured there was.
Well, because I was thinking, why don't they wear these uniforms more often, right? Like, yeah, no, that'd be cool. Denver's got the best, so that'd be nice. A little throwback there, with the D on the side of the helmet.
Yeah.
No, especially you're talking about Madden specifically. I mean, those old throwbacks look so nice with the updated graphics.
I mean, man, the Eagles have one of the best
Kelly Green
throwback. The Kelly Green.
Oof.
My God.
I might give me a Saquon Kelly Green one day. Maybe.
It's nice. It's one of the best throwback jerseys. It's the creamsicle. It's I'm trying to think if there's even like another one that's even close to up there. Those are the 2 best.
I mean,
think.
The Seahawks isn't crazy, but it's kind of cool. It's the throwback from when Marshawn Lynch had the run. Yeah,
the Oilers is a good one. Gotta like the Oilers jerseys. And I'm trying to think if there's any other I'm mega forgetting. I do like when the Pats go red. I do like that too.
Oh, those are, yeah.
When the pagers go red. That's nice.
Those are sick. No, those are sick for sure. But anyway, Johnny, check this out. In this next segment called Talk That Talk, I've been dreading this all day. Not only do we recap our picks from last week, but one couch coach will get to talk that talk with a speech for the people. Now, I want to just say, guys, I just want to say, I went 3-3 last week, and that's not a bad record at face value. You know, you go, that's not bad at all. But then you look up and you go, man, who am I going against? Johnny, all right. And you go, man, this motherfucker went 6-0. 6-0. I don't even know how, bro. The Cavs fucked me twice, bro. When I didn't pick them, I did pick them. They lost with no Cade. They lost, and then when I didn't pick them because of Norman, they won. Some bullshit, bro. Some bullshit. You increasing the lead here. It's 15-6 or 15-6 for you. Killing it. I'm 11-10. Again, winning record.
Still winning
record. But I'm running out of time.
If you had parlayed my picks last week, folks, you would have made yourself a nice chunk of change. Is all I'm saying. You parlay money line on my picks, you would have walked home a happy fan.
Walked home happy. I don't know how much you would have won, but you would have won something.
Would have won something.
That's better than nothing. So. Better than nothing. But anyway, first game we had Grizzlies at the Thunder. We were both correct on this one. Thunder won 125-104. Shea scored 37 points as Oklahoma City won its 8th straight. Set a team record, which was surprising because they had KD and Westbrook at one point. But team record, 61 wins this season. Jalen added 20 after missing 7 games with a hip injury. Isaiah Hartenstein, you're very familiar with him, Johnny, added 18 points, 11 rebounds, and Ja did not play in this game. But really came down to that fourth quarter. Grizzlies were 5-19 on field goals. Thunder were 13-23. 1 point, it was tied 99. But Thunder ran away with it. It looked like it wasn't a close game at the end. But most of the game was pretty close. But second game, we had Cavs at the Pistons Friday. Pistons winning 133-122, in which you were correct, Johnny. Tim Hardaway Jr. scored 32 points, season high. Dennis Schroeder added 16, Jalen Duren 16, and Azur Thompson with 18. The first winning season clinched for the Pistons since 2016. And Donnie scored 38, 22 of that in the fourth, but not enough.
And I picked that team exclusively off Tim Hardaway. I knew Tim Hardaway Jr. was going to show up big.
You knew.
You can go back and check the tape. I said Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to take the over on Tim Hardaway Jr.
Did you know they wouldn't have Cade? York Knicks.
No, I didn't actually. So I was that was a Cade pick. I actually think I did a little Cade glazing.
Oh yeah, it was for the Cade glazing, and he didn't play.
Yeah. So, but honestly, it's just his presence in that locker room. It just improves. It makes everybody play better.
No, 100%. Ended a 12-game losing streak versus the Cavaliers. Last time the Cavs lost to the Pistons was in 2022 when JB Bickerstaff was their head coach. Crazy. Third game, Knicks at Bucks. Knicks won 116-107. I guess
easy call.
Giannis's big green back wasn't enough.
We swept them. You swept the Bucks this season. I told you the Knicks played the Bucks really well.
3-0. You said it.
We do. We play the Bucks really well. We've done it for the past couple of years. We played them really well. Yeah. I don't know what it is. We just know that we know how to beat the Bucks.
Now you guys controlled for pretty much the entire game. Mm-hmm. Not a single point aside from maybe I think it was the fourth quarter a little bit, maybe late third, something like that. But we got as close as 2 and then never got back within 6. But yeah, you guys just completely controlled the game. OG Anunoby, 31 points, 20 in the fourth.
There was a point where I was really upset about the OG trade. When it first happened, I was like, RJ and IQ. And now I look back and I'm like, OG is the glue that holds this team together. The teams, I lost faith in the team last season during the playoffs. The moment OG got hurt, I was like, it's over. Throw in a towel. We can't do this without OG Anunoby.
Well, the record with OG versus without was insane.
Yeah, last season we had gone when we had OG, we had lost once, I think. And it was something like we went like 19-1 with him or something. So it was really crazy. Yeah. So
yeah, OG.
Yeah, really.
No, I saw a post that said if Mikal and OG could keep being as aggressive as they are when Brunson's not there, when he comes back, the Knicks would be deadly.
Well, that's really what we're hoping. Is like, did this time with no Brunson activate something in not just OG, because OG really plays well with Jalen Brunson, but did it activate something in Mikal because he wasn't playing like what we traded him to play. Like we gave up 5 firsts for Mikal Bridges. Like, it's still crazy even to think that, and it's like we just got to make that worth it. that you have to play like, you cannot play like a guy who sits at the 3-point line. You have to play like a guy who's worth 5 first-round picks.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, because he's always going to be good at defense, but it's that offensive side if he can really lock in.
Yeah. I mean, we have an unbelievably deep team as far as talent. It just so happens that the best team in the league, team. In my opinion. Yeah. As far as like
all 7 players that play?
Yeah, well, as far as like all the guys that do get playtime though are all really good. Like we have
you go 2 in the
like
bench.
The worst guy who gets legitimate playtime is like who? Mitch? Like, is it, who will get consistent legitimate playtime? Like, that's not bad if Mitch Robinson is your last guy in the rotation. So it's just nice. The problem is that the Celtics are like that. They have that quality of player, but down to like their 10th man. So
yeah.
So it's tough.
They're gonna be tough to beat, but the Cavs go and do it because they go into the finals. Anyway, Lakers at the Grizzlies on Saturday. Lakers won that game 134-127. We were both correct. AR had 31. 8 assists. Luka, 29, 9 assists. And LeBron with 25 points. The Grizzlies' first game under interim coach. That's a crazy name.
Yeah, he's from Finland. A fun one.
Tuomo's Isalo. Because we didn't mention that. Meant to mention that. They fired Taylor Jenkins after that prior game after the Thunder, which is insane.
Still no answer as to why. And here's my running
because of Ja. They said Ja complained about the offense.
Yeah, I can imagine. Here's the thing: is like what I've heard from Memphis insiders is
not what you said, right?
What?
Was not what you texted me?
Oh no! Well, my first reaction was this guy had to have done something messed up, and they're just getting out ahead of it because it was so ridiculous. But what I've heard from Memphis insiders is like that they've gotten the vibe they've wanted to get rid of Taylor Jenkins for a minute, and they didn't want to start out this first season with Ja back on a brand new coach as well. But they had shaken faith in him, and that the players weren't really vibing with him a ton. And then my theory is, how you get this, like when you fire the coach, you get this weird little push, this like weird, like, you know what I'm saying? You get this like uplifted locker room for a little bit because like they play like weirdly better than they had before. It's like, I think they're trying to do that. Right. They're trying to do that right before the playoffs. They're trying to just go like, okay, let's get that push right before the playoffs and go in there with an invigorated team.
Well,
I don't know. It's a weird decision.
They're 0-1, so they got about 8 more games to figure that one out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
But I got a question for you, Johnny. Is the Lakers' big three the best big three in the league? And that's crazy to think that we're considering...
The big three is dead.
We're considering AR. Well, that's what a big three is now. You have LeBron, Luka, and then a player like AR.
I think the better question is, like, is Austin Reeves the best third player in the league? You know what I mean? Like, third man in the league.
I've heard it a lot recently.
Because I think you could say LeBron and Luka is the best duo.
Why is he not in the most improved player consideration? I looked at the rankings the other day. He's not even close.
No, it's who's the most improved? It's something dumb.
It's a former first round. It's like a former first round pick, isn't it?
Oh no, it's Cade. Cade, I think, is the
because they were saying should you even be allowed to be most improved if you were picked like top 5? But I'm like, I think you should, because if I don't hate it. If you weren't good and you got better, then you were the most improved. Yeah. If you improved the most.
Right. It's like he wasn't an all-star last year. He's an all-star this year. His team was terrible last year. It's a playoff team this year. Like, I don't hate that decision. But you could make the argument Alperen Şengün maybe should win it though. Like
he's gonna be a problem.
Right. Like it maybe should be Şengün, who is, was a late first or a early second round pick.
Bro, he was their third first round pick. They had 3 that year. Right.
So Şengün, I think you could maybe should be the guy, but I wouldn't have any problem with it being Cade. I think the only real you could make the argument the best. Here are the big 3s I would say that you could make the argument for. You could say LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves, and that's like a top-heavy one. You could go Tatum, Brown, Derek White, I think is a legitimate one. Okay. You could say Jalen Cat, OG, when they're all healthy. That's a solid 3. And then the big one that I think you might have to just defer this to them is SGA, Chet, and Jalen Williams.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like that might just be the one you have to give it to him. Oh, and then Donnie, Darius Garland, and Mobley. I mean, there are some legit but I think I would as much as Austin Reeves I don't think is the best third man. I think the top heavy nature of having LeBron and Luka, 2 top 10 players, which no other team has.
Right.
Like,
I don't think top 10. Like you have top 5 IQ players almost all time. 2 of them. Yeah.
So you have 2 top 10 players. Tatum and Brown are close to that, but I think you would say probably Brown is 13th, 14th best. So Tatum, at least, I think, has inked himself this season. I'm not trying to get too off topic, but people used to disrespect Tatum, and now it's like I think Tatum has kind of stamped himself as like you are the 4th best player in the league. You're
think
being
he's better than Brown?
Jason Tatum, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Finals MVP, Conference Finals MVP.
I guess Iguodala is better than Curry too. Like he played bad in the finals.
He locked down LeBron.
Right, like he played bad in the finals, but obviously Tatum's the better player. I think he has stamped himself as like you are the 4th best player in the league, like 4th or 5th best player. Let's call him that.
Josh Allen, bull of the ring.
You are the 4th or 5th stamped. It's like the only people ahead of you are Jokic, Luka, Giannis, and SGA. That's it.
LeBron.
I would say Tatum's probably a hair better than LeBron today. I love LeBron. I'm a huge LeBron GOAT arguer, but I'm just like at this point, I think LeBron, the only thing he does better than Tatum is pass. But beyond that, like Tatum is a better scorer at this point. He is a better rebounder. He's a better defender. Like it's at this point by a hair. LeBron's a better leader, locker room presence, orchestrator, better point guard than Tatum. But I think Tatum's just a little bit better right now.
Wow. That hurts my heart to hear that. Especially from you. Follow LeBron.
I love LeBron.
Follow LeBron. Man, you see that song I sent you?
Yeah, the man of the Lakers? Of course. I've been seeing that. I've been seeing that for weeks.
There's so many. Some of them I can't even I went to listen to them, and after the first 3 lyrics I had to turn it off, bro, because some of these people are going. I mean, like, pause, like, on the songs, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
some
pause.
These are
the
love songs.
Like,
these are.
No, I mean, like, not
deeper
even
than
just
love.
like insinuations. I mean, the words they're saying.
No. Oh yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah. I know what you mean. Some of these is
talking about the man on the Lakers. Asking
I'm
you to say
asking you to
his
say his
name.
name. LeBron James.
I'm like, oh my god. I played it on repeat like 5 times yesterday. If you want to make the world
Never likes the man on the
place,
Lakers.
take a look at the sky. I forgot the rest. Anyway,
Here's the thing. I mean, nobody was doing that for Jordan. Nobody was making songs for Jordan. Nobody was making
if
songs
Jordan
for Jordan.
was the GOAT, he'd have TikToks about him.
They did no TikToks for Jordan. I never seen one.
No CDs, no cassettes. Game number five. We had the Clippers at the Cavaliers Sunday. Yesterday there. Cavs, they won 127-122. You were right. There's no point in saying that because you got all 6 right. So you're right in all of them. But Jared Allen, he scored 25, leading scorer. Donovan Mitchell added 24. Cavs reached 60 wins for the third time in franchise history. First time since 2009-2010. Before LeBron left the first time, which I thought was interesting. They didn't hit 60 at all with LeBron when he came back. So in theory, this team right now is better than that LeBron team that won the championship. I'm just saying. Anyway, Cavs, 4.5 games ahead of Boston for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. Harden had 24, no Kawhi Leonard, and Norman Powell, baby. Norman Powell, watch. He had 34 points. 34 points, 4 assists, 1 rebound, and he had a foul. He had to get an extra stat. It's better than 4. 5 of 11 from 3. But I'm just glad.
What a guy.
He came back. The comeback, Norman Powell.
That's everyone's, the fans' favorite segment is Norman Powell watch.
He's about to be early All-Star 2026.
When the Clippers get eliminated, the viewer count's going to drop all the way down because people are going to be so mad that we don't have Norman Powell watch anymore.
Bro, I'm telling you.
I get DMs all the time. They say make Norman Powell watch longer. We need a 10-minute Norman Powell watch segment.
I'm telling you, one day we're going to get a Norman Powell watch and he's going to come on the show.
We need to, yeah. We'll do that, and when that happens, I'll buy you a watch with Norman Powell's face on it, so you can have the Norman Powell watch.
When I do the Norman Powell watch, I'm gonna have his face come over on the graphic. Should be Norman Powell talking. Anyway, game number 6, Pistons at Timberwolves. Sunday, yesterday as well. Timberwolves won 123-104. We were both correct. There was a brawl. With about 8 minutes left in the second quarter. 5 players ejected. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. 5 players ejected, including Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo, Isaiah Stewart, Ron Holland, and Marcus Sasser. And coaches, and JB Bickerstaff. And I had to read this twice because when I first read it, I counted 6 players. But this second coach is no longer a player. He's an assistant coach for the Wolves. Pablo Pergioni.
Nice.
That name ring a bell, Johnny?
Vaguely.
Bro, I don't remember where I remember him from, but I was like, wait a minute, he still plays?
If there's a brawl and the Pistons are involved, that you're going to see Isaiah Stewart's name on there. Isaiah Stewart cannot help it. He loves to fight.
Did you see the video?
Of the brawl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some clips.
It was crazy. Timberwolves fans were in there too. They held him back. No, they said they held him back. He was crying after he couldn't hit him.
Yeah. That Isaiah Stewart loves to scrap. It is just something true about him. He loves to fight. I've never seen somebody who rushes towards combat on the basketball court as consistently as often as Isaiah Stewart does.
The only player to ever try to fight the GOAT.
Yeah, he had to have a whole team hold him back from fighting the man on the Lakers.
Like, nobody in their right mind would try to fight LeBron, except for Stephen A. Smith.
Except for Stephen A. Smith, who says, I would have fought him. It's such a funny...
Did you see LeBron's post?
I gotta be honest, man. Like,
bro, this is...
LeBron has to stop though. Here's what I will say. LeBron needs to stop acknowledging it because there is a like diminishing returns level where it's like right now we're all on your side, bro. No one's on Stephen A. Smith's side except for LeBron haters. Like, you know what I mean? It's just the Jordan guys are the only people that are on his side.
Right.
But the general NBA fan is not like rocking with Stephen A. Smith on this. That being said, though, LeBron's just got to stop, though, because there will be a point where it's like, why do you care anymore? Like,
right.
You're a billionaire. Like, you don't need to worry about this guy. Like, he is milking you for attention. Pause. But you know what I mean? Like, that's what he's doing, though. And so I will say, like, obviously, Stephen A. Smith is in the wrong, and LeBron looks like the better guy in all of this, but he does have just pulled back, especially for the playoffs, and just I'm not going to acknowledge you anymore. You have to Don Draper it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think about you at all.
Well,
that's what you need to do.
I think Steven was cool until he mentioned that he would have swung on him if he had swung on him. Like, because now you're like so you're hypothesizing things that like it's like you had this thought. Like, this is a thought you had. Like,
yeah, why are you talking about like why are you doing you're having fantasies about fighting LeBron James? What are you doing, man? Like you're 50. Like, get your shit together, bro.
That's the safest way to fight LeBron James is in a fantasy.
Hey Siri, how old is Stephen A. Smith? 57. Get your shit together, bro. You're a 57-year-old man. Go get a wife. How about that?
Oh,
man. Go have a family.
Listen,
stop with all this. I'm gonna fight LeBron.
Listen, I'll tell you what, Steven. I'd expected to come to this. I love you, Steven. There's no hate, but y'all both got to study all differences. I think plus the more they keep talking about it, someone's gonna get caught in a lie. Because when you both are saying conflicting things over and over and over again, eventually somebody's, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of them's lying.
LeBron can walk away in the right if he just stops acknowledging him. Just goes like, little man, you're a little angry, butthurt man who was talking about my family and talking about me as a father, and I had to call you out for it. You are no longer on my radar. I'm a billionaire and I have a family, and I'm going to go compete for an NBA championship. Go back to your podcast and talk about me. Become the new Skip Bayless and tweet at me 10,000 times in your career, and I will no longer ever acknowledge you again.
Yeah, no, Steven said NBA players been not been calling him back since then.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. The Pistons were up when this whole thing occurred, by the way. 3rd and 9, 29. So I'm not saying that's why the Timberwolves won, because I picked them. But I'm just saying, Pistons were kind of controlling the game up until that point, and they lost some key players. But Julius had 26, 8 rebounds, and had 25 points. But yeah, Timberwolves, they won the brawl. They won the game. Johnny, you won the week. Give the people your speech. I'm going to give you a countdown. I'm going to count down from 5. I'm going to give you approximately 60 seconds. No, I'm just playing. Take your time. You earned it with the 6 and 0. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to take this time this week to be a hater. And I apologize to everybody. I'm going to be a hater, though. I need somebody to explain something to me. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to try my best to do this with no spoilers, okay? If anyone's watching, I don't want to be the reason that you have this show spoiled for you. I don't get it with Severance, bro. I don't get it. It looks really cool. It looks interesting. There are a lot of I've seen the first 2 seasons. I've watched it all. The end of the first season, last couple episodes, really cool. The second season hits a crescendo at season 2, episode 4, and falls apart. Absolutely nosedives. This show, and I watched people as it was coming out be like, this show is so genius. I've seen people tell people, talk about it and say it's one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. I go, this show is a 6 at best. This show is so Uh, it was built in the framework of Lost, where I don't know if anyone remembers that, but Lost was so dumb because at a certain point it was like, you need to tell us something that's going on because you're just being mysterious for the sake of being mysterious, and it's dumb. And Severance had become dumb to me. And Severance also committed the sin of giving me way too much backstory about characters that I don't need backstory about, and their backstory that you gave me never paid off for anything. I don't want to spoil too much. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm being vague, but I'm telling you, the people who watch this show know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm referring to, all the dumb things that happen. The final episode is like, where it ends is fine, and I got no problem with the decision making and all of that, but most of the final episode is dumb, full of nonsense. The thing they're building to the entire season when they finally reveal it is dumb, nonsensical, is not explained at all, and the villain of the company is needs to be explained further for me to feel invested in this show, because at this point I think nothing makes sense. You're just doing things to do things. You have an unlimited budget from Apple, and you're goofing around. And I gotta say, the other thing is that if you're calling this show a legitimate criticism of capitalism, you just don't really understand what those words mean, because that's not what this show is. Okay, there are things that are legitimate criticisms of capitalism. This is a show that maybe you could call it a criticism of corporate culture, but that's not what capitalism is. So I'm like, I feel like a pedantic douche when I talk about this. I feel like I'm being a little bit pretentious. But I just have to say, I don't get it. I think that you people think this show is a lot smarter than it is, and it's not that smart of a show. And by the end of the second season, I was like, I don't know if they're gonna have me back for a third. This is so dumb. That's my rant. Severance, I think, is super mega overrated, and I think that people are gassing it because it looks really pretty. But it looks really cool, and there's a lot of jingly keys for you to be distracted by, but so much of it is just vapid nonsense and filler. Like, there are full episodes where nothing happens, and if you had cut the entire episode out, the plot doesn't change at all. Truly, I promise you. I think it's season 2, episode 7. Or season 2, episode 8, you could cut the whole thing out and the whole plot does not change at all. I'm just telling you.
Wow.
There we go.
I love it, man. You said rant over, and he continued the rant.
And then I kept going because I really do feel passionately about this.
You got beef with Ben Stiller?
Not got no beef with Ben Stiller. Nick's legend, and I don't think he takes it too serious. I'm talking about the fans of this show and how they talk about it. I felt like I was missing out on a cultural touchstone, and I was like, I need to watch this show.
Before you dive too deep, as you started saying that, I love Severance.
That's so funny.
No, listen. Okay, hold on.
Okay. Hold on. Spoiler warning.
No.
Severance.
Don't spoil. Don't spoil. Don't spoil it, because listen. I said I love Severance, but listen though, off of the episodes that I've seen, I've only seen the first 3.5, 4.
Oh, so you haven't seen far.
Now here's the thing though, I saw these episodes 2 years ago when there was only one season. But I have this thing about shows, when there's only one season, I don't want to watch them, because then I'm going to get through the season and there's going to be nothing left. So and then I got to wait a whole year for the next season to come out. So I stopped watching it, wait for the new season. I wasn't going to watch it again because I didn't even have Apple TV. But I got a trial from a fucking concert or something I went to, or a basketball game. And anyway, I went on it though. But you're right, John, 100%. The reason I don't watch it is because there's some nights I just want to laugh. Or I want to watch something that's going to be encapsulating. But I'm like, bro, I'm watching this shit and I'm just like, I don't know anymore. I loved it at first, but now it's the whole 45 minutes, there's 5 minutes of shit that actually matters.
Yes. Okay, so the first season, the first episode is really cool, and it hooks you. The first episode is really cool and hooks you. The next she's 4 are so boring. The next 4 are Yeah, the next 4 are really boring, and then the final episodes, like 6 to 10, are awesome. And it's like, and it made me think, oh, this is why people like this show, is because of how cool the back end of the first season is. And I think the best episode in the series is season 2, episode 4, is awesome. And then from that and beyond, it nosedives. And they dedicate full episodes to following one character. There's like one episode that follows one character who I'm not going to say, and it is, if you had cut that episode out, the plot of the show does not change even a little bit. It is like, it's truly awful. Like they lose the point completely. And I think they're trying to stretch it. Like they have an idea of what they want to do, and they're trying to stretch it for 5 seasons when it's like, maybe this show only needs to be 3 seasons. Like,
did you just binge the whole show?
I'm not like binged. I watched it over the course of like a few weeks. Like I was caught up by the time the last couple episodes came out. I was caught up, so I was like watching weekly at that point.
Oh, but you just started it though recently. Like you didn't see it when the first season came out.
No, I hadn't seen it. And like the way people were talking about it,
the Instagram post is what made me want to watch it again, because like the Audi shit where they're talking like the Audi said this or that, like I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the way people talked about it when season 2 was coming out, I was like, oh, I'm missing something. Like this is a big deal. I need to watch this show. It's like not watching Game of Thrones. Like I'm missing something. I need to watch this. Or like not watching Breaking Bad. It's like a show that like, is it the show that everyone's watching? And you're missing out on like a cultural phenomenon if you don't watch it. I'm like, all right, I got to see this now. And I just don't get it. And a lot of these shows I get. And I'm like, I think Severance looks really cool. It's directed well, and there's a lot of good actors in it. But the plot is paper thin. Like it is, if you hold up a lot of the show to any scrutiny, it falls apart. And so I'm like, and like I said, some people might love it. Some people might love mystery box storytelling, where it's, you know, you have a mystery and you open the box and figure out that inside that box is another mystery. And you keep doing that over and over and over, and you never actually get answers. I hate that type of storytelling though, and it bothers me. And it just feels like anything they do answer, it's like I don't want to stay on this too long. This is a sports podcast, but we could go Bill Simmons style and get and make a pop culture TV show podcast, make the Prestige TV podcast.
Yeah, we certainly could. But right now, we're about to make some picks so I can whoop your ass next week. Because I'm going to go 6-0 this week. You're not.
6 again?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's playoff time, baby. You know what it is.
Let's go.
We got a lot of good matchups. But, Johnny, it's time for King of the Court, where we determine which couch coach is crowned King of the Court through weekly picks of the biggest games of the week ahead. And we already picked one. Rockets at the Lakers tonight. It's already going. What do you say?
I said Lakers in 5.
I thought you said Lakers are at 5. I was like, let's go.
In 5.
Lakers in 5.
I'll tell you right now. The Lakers are. They are down 3 right now.
Perfect. That's exactly where they want to be.
Scary.
Lakers. We both pick Lakers. But game 2, Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. We have the Pistons at the Thunder.
It's got to be the Thunder.
Cade Glazing or Shea?
I mean, it has to be the Thunder. I'm not going to. You're going to make a lot. You're going to lose a lot of money fading the Thunder. So I'm just going to pick them.
Okay, you going Thunder?
Yeah.
I'm in a predicament here. I can't make up for this in 1 week. It's not possible. If I try, I'm going to make it worse. But I also feel like I'm less intrigued to watch the game when we pick the same team, because I'm like, if I win, it's like I can't talk shit to you.
Look, man, as much as you want to differentiate from me, the Thunder are on a historic pace.
You know what's crazy though?
Yeah.
You know what happened last time the Pistons played the number 1 team in the conference?
They won. That's right, in the Eastern Conference.
And you know who I picked?
You picked the number one team in the Eastern Conference.
Hold on. Hey Siri, is Cade Cunningham playing on Wednesday?
Doesn't matter. Probably game time decision.
She don't know, and I can't put faith on it. Thunder.
Yeah.
Give me the Thunder.
Yeah.
Game number 3, Warriors at Lakers, Thursday, 10 p.m. This will be a good one.
You know what? I'll give you one. I mean, I look, man. I just feel like I don't want us to all pick the same one. Do I think it's going to be the Lakers? Yes. But give me the Warriors. I'll give you one, man. I'll give you Hukaluka. You can have it.
Yeah, you know, the Lakers been struggling lately. Jimmy Butler's pretty good at defense.
Yeah.
Steph Curry is the greatest three-point shooter of all time.
That's true.
But they still don't got Hukaluka. Lakers.
All right.
Nuggets at
Just
the Warriors.
for the people at home, just know that I'm like quietly picking the Lakers, but I'm loudly picking the Warriors for parity's sake.
Listen, I'm gonna loudly shit talk you when the Warriors lose.
Okay. Go ahead.
Nuggets at the Warriors. Back to back for the Warriors. Nuggets at the Warriors Friday, 10 p.m. I imagine you're not taking Steph Curry on that back to back.
Likely not. I just want to make sure that there are no injury concerns before I make this pick, but my gut is telling me we want to go with the okay, here's the issue right now is that Aaron Gordon, Nick Jokic, and Jamal Murray are all game time decisions for this game. And I could see them just sitting it out when the Nuggets play before that. They play the Spurs on Wednesday. Do they have a back-to-back? No. That's a tough one, man. Let's go Warriors. Let's go Warriors. I don't like it. I don't like this game time decision aspect of all of this.
Yeah, I'm going Warriors as well.
Damn. Give me the Nuggets, actually.
Nah, we'll keep it. We got a lot of weeks for me to catch up to you. Don't worry. I'll take my place back soon, John. Lakers at Thunder on Sunday.
A lot of West this week.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at the matchups and the records, and the East is weak. The East is weak.
East
I'm
sucks.
like, man. The West, every night there's a game that you're like, ooh, this is a playoff matchup.
Yeah, I mean the West, like the 2nd to 9 seed is like separated by like 4 or 5 games. So
yeah, bro, you lose 3 games and your season might be over.
Yeah. Once again, it might be basic, but like I said, you're going to lose a lot of money fading the Thunder at any point. Thunder.
Let's go. Finally. One where you actually want the team against me. All right, now anyway, I'm going Hukaluka Lakers. I'm depending on the Lakers to give me 3 wins this week. 3 wins this week. I need it. Game number 6. Pacers at the Nuggets. Sunday. 8 o'clock.
Pacers.
Look at that. There's an East team for you.
Yeah, we had the Pistons in one and the Pacers in another. I'm going Pacers in this one.
The Pacers are hot right now.
They play a style of basketball I think that would match up very well with the Nuggets as far as how fast-paced, in your face. I mean, you're gonna get Jokic huffing and puffing up and down that court.
You see, I love Tyrese Halliburton.
Halliburton's like very talented, but it's just hard where it's like you're just like not in that, like you should be up there, but you're just not. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's streaky. He's too streaky as a star. But I respect his game. I do not doubt Tyrese Halliburton after we matched up with him in the playoffs last offseason or last postseason.
No, he's nice. He's a cool dude too. But you know, about 6 days from now, I think with those extra 2 days of rest, those Nuggets injuries, they should clear up a little bit. I'm going to go Nuggets. But yeah. So at the most, I can make up 3.
Hope you do.
You and me both. But anyway, Johnny, in this next segment, we get DTF. Because Johnny and I felt that sometimes you have to get DTF to truly see the landscape of the sports world. It's time for Deeper Than Film.
Yes, sir, it is. Listen, Coogii, I hear this a lot. The talk of aura is not spoken about in the NFL, but it's talked about a lot in the NBA. And the thing that always gets to me about this is I hear Thunder and Shea fans saying that he has an unbelievable aura, that he has, absolute 10 out of 10 oppressive aura when he's on camera, when he's playing the game, or all of this stuff. And I got to be honest with you, I don't see it. I don't know if I agree with this. I think he's a great player. Excellent. He's my MVP. I'd give him MVP right now. Easy. No question. But when you stack him up against other NBA superstars, do we really think he's got more aura? So that's what we're here to determine today.
Aura. All right.
I have a list here of NBA. Mostly we have all-stars and a handful of other players that didn't make the all-star teams for either injury purposes, guys like Luka, or just barely didn't make the cut, guys like Jimmy Butler, or who was holding out, or Norman Powell, who just barely didn't make it, but I had to throw him on there for you. This is our aura tier list. I didn't give any creative names for the tiers or anything. I just thought, look, I want to have an accurate rating and go, do we really think that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the king of all aura? We're going to determine that here. So, first, do we need to define aura for the fans at home?
I was going to say, we might need to define aura. Hold on. Do you want to look it up, or do you want Siri to tell us?
Yeah, we could... give me the dictionary definition of aura, and we'll see how close it is to how it's used when describing an NBA player.
Hey Siri, give me the definition of aura.
Let's hear it.
Aura is the distinctive atmosphere or quality that seems to surround and be generated by a person, thing, or place.
I think that's pretty good, That's not bad. I think that's a good
they create their own atmosphere
thing. Right. You have an energy that reverberates off of you that you can't see, but it's there. And we're just rating how good / strong / who has the best aura in the league and who doesn't. I think the best thing we can do is start by setting parameters. All right, we want to have our top and bottom guys who we know certainly have an apex aura, guys who have no aura at all. So let's make this one easy, right? LeBron S tier aura, of course. He's the GOAT. People are making songs about him.
The man on the Lakers. Oh.
That's aura. Karl Anthony Towns, no aura at all. Okay. There's not a person on the planet that thinks that Karl Anthony Towns is cool. And that's, what I'm saying? That's my center. I'm cheering for this guy every game. No aura, an auraless player. Nobody ever is going to be like, man, Karl Anthony Towns, what a guy. What a cool guy. So then we want to fill in the blanks from here. So I think some of these are easy, like Anthony Davis. That's a D aura, Anthony Davis doesn't have aura like that. He's got the brow, so the branding is cool, the marketing is cool. Beyond that, I don't know if I'm going to give him any points beyond that. He sent me
that video is hilarious, bro. But I looked at, he got an assist, but his face, bro, like, why did he make that face?
Goofy ass player. Oh, you know who else? F aura. Jason Tatum.
Okay.
Tatum, easily. I mean, bro, he couldn't even think of.
Is Norm Powell on here?
I had to put him on there.
Let's go.
Of course we got Norm Powell on here. Where's Norm Powell? I knew I had him on here somewhere. Where is this guy, Norm Powell? He is
second from the left and the bottom. Come on now. I know that man's face when I see it.
Yeah, of course we put Norm Powell on there.
Wait, hold on. What do these letters stand for? So A, B, C, D, F is obviously, S is super?
Yeah, it's just the S is the best. S tier aura is the best of all of them. Better than A. F is shit. You have no aura at all.
I think of Jason Tatum, it's got to be at least A.
I would agree. I think A is Ant is A, and with an opportunity to move up to S.
What are you saying about Jason?
Could be up there. Jason Tatum. When I think of Jason Tatum, I think of when he won the NBA Finals, and they gave him the microphone. And there's so many great moments in NBA history. Whether it was LeBron James yelling Cleveland, this was for you. Or Kevin Garnett going, anything is possible. Anything is possible! Mm-hmm. I mean, we're talking iconic NBA moments. And they give it to Jason Tatum. And he goes, we did it! We did it! Like, he literally fully copied Kevin Garnett's thing, which was saying the thing and then yelling it out. But said it with no swag at all. Just absolute corny.
Made it corny.
Yeah, so yeah, Jason Tatum, no aura, great player, no aura. D tier aura, Devin Booker. Just
easy.
D tier. I think Brunson, that's a B. Like, Brunson's cool, but he's got a really big head. So you can't have too much aura if your head's that big.
Shea?
So Shea is the interesting one where I'm like, people say that Shea has amazing aura. Do you feel that way?
I mean, on the court,
like I just don't know if I feel that way about Shea.
I could give him. I mean, I don't think he's lower than a C.
No, I wouldn't say that. I'd say like
I wouldn't give him an S.
Right? The point is, I want to hold Shea to the end because I think Shea, the whole point of me doing this is to go, here we have a tier list of where these players, do we think Shea is better than these players, has more aura than these guys? And like, do I think Shea has more aura than Anthony Edwards? Hell no.
No.
That's my
more
point.
Than Brunson though? Or on the same peer?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
we got to see more. We got to see more.
Now, some of these guys, it's like Dame Lillard.
Jokic is a D.
Yeah, I'd agree. Jokic is a D. He's got the I don't care swag, and that's about it.
I just want to I want to go ride my horses at home.
Yeah. Dame Lillard's an interesting one where you're like, at one point, you didn't get cooler than Dame.
At one point, you had the Dame time. Yeah.
Yeah. The maybe the coldest play in NBA history is the dagger half court on Paul George.
On Paul George.
I mean,
is he on this list?
Lethal. No. Paul George wouldn't be able to be ranked here. Paul George would have to be G tier.
Pandemic P?
Yeah, G tier for George. Just terrible. But I think honestly Dame has lost some being on the Bucks. I'm still giving him credit for the old days, but he's not that guy anymore. Some aura has left him.
Because he's playing with that guy.
Exactly. James Harden's an interesting one. Where like he used to same deal. Like I think Harden's a solid C. Like,
yeah.
Do you have a problem with that?
He doesn't lack aura, but yeah, no. I mean,
right. Harden today.
Well, see, it's tough. So when I think of aura, there's different levels to this. But I also think of like, all right, like which of these players do I think if they went up to a shorty at the club and spit game, like who would come out with a girl, you know? Like And I don't think James is coming out with one.
No. And you also think James Harden, when I think of James Harden now, I think of him like throwing a tantrum and like going to the Rockets out of shape and getting the ball and throwing it out of bounds so that they would trade him. I'm like, I lost so much respect for James Harden in that moment.
Nah, dude, he ruined 6 rookies' whole NBA experience.
It was just awful. Like I think I never saw him the same after that. You know who can join James in C tier? Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, who is swagless, goofy, but like funny. Like he can come off really cool when he's like quiet, doesn't say shit, or like when he's funny on Twitter, but then also like tweets at people, like has burner accounts and gets mad at people. Like is not a leader. Like join him in C tier. Your NBA prowess gives you a little bit more,
right? Because he's KD, but like that's about it.
I think we can easily put Kyrie in A.
Yeah.
You know, that's a simple one. Everyone likes Kyrie. Everyone thinks Kyrie's cool.
Ja,
I think, is also like either high B, low A. You know? Let's go high B for Ja. Let's put him like there with potential to move up. I like that.
Yeah. Might have to put him in S for stick.
For stick. Now, I think here's another one. Joel Embiid, put him in C.
Yeah.
It's like, he's funny, he's menacing, but he's not, he's kind of not taken seriously as a threat in the league. He's not taken seriously as a difference maker in the league anymore. No one thinks of him as a force to be reckoned with at this point.
Especially
it's sad. Especially not me. Joel Embiid's number one hater.
Kawhi, fun guy.
Kawhi is weird because
he's like Kirk Cousins swag. Like his swag is not having swag.
Right, and there was a point where Kawhi had a ton. Like when he won the championship.
Raptors
Kawhi is like all-time peak aura, where it was like, I am a robot.
His laugh videos.
I am a robot who was programmed to single-handedly win championships. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And since then, the injuries have brought him down a bit. I think low B for Kawhi.
That works.
You know? Low B.
Is that Evan Mobley?
Yeah, I throw Evan Mobley. He's an all-star, so
I wouldn't even know he existed if I didn't watch him play. He's got to be an F or a D.
Yeah, let's put F tier for Evan Mobley.
He's a great player, but he don't talk. I haven't heard him say one word.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't have aura if you don't talk.
Jaylen Brown, I think you can go like A tier.
See, he is the best player on the Celtics. Yeah. when it comes to aura.
Guys, it's the aura list. This is not a quality of player. Even though I know you could be thrown by seeing LeBron James at the top, you might think it's how good of a player they are. I have one, bro. This might be controversial. I find Trae Young cringy.
Oh, from the Knicks fan. Okay.
All right, I'll put him in D because I'm a Knicks fan and we hate Trae Young, but I'll put him at D because I think he's cringy. I don't think he's not cool to me. Like
he just donated $1 million to Oklahoma and he's their assistant GM now.
Oh look, man, he's a good player. It's fine, but
you can't buy aura though. You can't buy aura.
You know what my thing about Trae Young is? You know what it is that he reminds me of Jason McIntyre, and I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Dirty Q-tip.
You know Jason McIntyre, like Colin Coward's co-host?
Jason, yeah.
I find him very annoying, and Trae Young reminds me of him for some reason.
For a second, I thought you said Jason Whitlock.
No, not Jason Whitlock. I have way more respect for Trae Young than that's. Hey, man, I find Jason McIntyre annoying, and I find Trae Young annoying. I don't think that they're a repugnant dirtbag like I think Jason Whitlock is.
You're not alone.
Jason Whitlock, if you put a button in front of me right now that said you press this button and Jason Whitlock dies, I would press it.
Oh my god.
What are we? I mean, come on. Let's be real here. There's not many people in the world I would do that for, but Jason Whitlock's one of them. I'm not saying I'm killing him myself, but I'm saying if you're like, you press this button and Jason Whitlock has a brain aneurysm right now, I'd do it.
Hold on, let's make it better. Let's just make it better, all right? He's having a brain aneurysm and you hit the button to save him and you're just not going to hit it. How about that?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, let's do trolley problem.
Because at least then you can be the good guy. Then they're
I
like...
don't need to be a good guy. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying I'm not going to shoot him in the face.
No, just
like I'm in a...
Hit a button that gives him an aneurysm. You're in a secret room.
I don't like him. I don't like Jason Whitlock. I think the world would be a better place without him.
Yeah, you know.
He's a bully. That's my hot take.
Not my place. But Giannis,
I think has really good. I mean, Giannis might be S tier.
S tier. Ooh.
I think he's up there.
We're putting him with the GOAT.
Aura? Like
he's at
least A.
Every year you go to your job, you don't get promotion. Is that year a failure?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gives some good speeches. The shit with his girlfriend.
With the easy button or with the button, like press his button for a blowjob or whatever.
There's that, but in the interviews he'll just talk about stuff, bro. He'll just say the most wild stuff. But
yeah,
it's always
funny.
But the aura is in the accent though. I think that's what it is. Like a lot of the aura is in the accent because the way he's saying it, like if you or me said it, it wouldn't be funny. But it's like he's saying it and it's hilarious.
Yeah, I think he's cool. I think of Giannis as a cool player.
Listen,
you know,
as the man who dubbed the phrase "Big Greek back," I think y'all know how I feel about Giannis.
Big Greek back. I forgot about Big Greek back. That's so funny.
Yeah, you gotta put him up there.
Mm-hmm. Well, you want to go S tier?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Wardell Curry.
Wardell.
I love
Wardell.
I don't know why. I just like calling him Wardell now.
Oh, it's funny. Wardell, I think, is just too much of a legend to be anything less than A.
Bro, this man. Nah, think about it, bro. This man will go out before games and shoot shots from the fucking hallway.
Honestly, I'm putting him at S because I'm putting him at S because of the Olympics. I'm thinking back to the Olympics, bro, and when he won, when we won the championship or the gold medal, and it was just off Steph Curry going up and taking the most comical circus shots, just like running up there and being like, "Oh, I got 3 guys on me. Fuck you 3." Like, doesn't matter. I can shoot from anywhere. I'm the best. It doesn't matter. I mean, he just scored like 15 straight points, just taking the dumbest 3-pointers in the world, and it just didn't matter. Yeah. Steph Curry S tier.
No, I'm telling you, there's not a guy or girl in this world you couldn't impress with a 3-point shot.
It's true.
I'm telling you, bro. A nice enough 3-point shot, make anyone jaw drop. I'm telling you.
I think we got to go Paolo Banchero. In D tier. There's no swag to him, you know?
No.
It's like he's not cringy, but there's no swag. None at all. I hate to say it. Sorry, Paolo Banchero.
Jalen Williams?
Williams is C. Solid C.
I feel like C is a bunch of guys that are just kind of there.
Yeah. Or guys that have like polar opposite pulling you in 2 different directions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's Kevin Durant for me, where it's like you are this lethal all-time great, and also you've been a weird, whiny, like goofball on the internet for most of your career.
Yeah.
So can't put him too high. I think Cade is either high B, low A. Cade is cool as shit. I love his game. I think he like way he plays basketball is very cool.
Cade?
Yeah.
That's Cade?
That's Cade Cunningham, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, all right.
First pick, first overall pick a couple of years ago.
No, I was looking at the picture. I was like, hold on a sec.
Yeah.
No, it's Cade. Cade Glazing at his finest.
Cade Glazing at his finest. Low A.
Tyler Hero.
Tyler Hero.
The ones that hate me the most are just like me. You tell me what that means.
Yeah, I mean, he gets the white American bump. Like,
what is that? It sounds like, like a disease.
You get the white you get the white American bump, meaning you're the best white American in the league, so you get a bump for that. The best white American in the league.
Tyler Hero?
Or a bump.
It's a low bar. Damn.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, what's the other one? Austin Reeves? That's it. There's not many, man.
Is every top player either black or foreign?
Yeah.
There's not a single white player that's top player in the league.
Think about it, bro. You tell me. You tell me who it is. Look at this list. I have like 30 guys here. It's just Tyler Hero. It's Tyler Hero and Austin Reeves, bro. There's no one else. I promise you. All the best white players are not from America.
Until next year.
Right, exactly. We need Cooper Flag.
Cooper's going to save us.
The next Larry Bird. Make
the NBA white again.
I mean, Jesus Christ. The best, like, really, like, the last time, like, there was a really, really great white American player who was a Jason Kidd. Like, it's Jason Kidd, I think. Like, it's like Kevin Love was an all-star. He was really good at his peak, but, like, he's not considered an all-time great. I think it's Jason Kidd is probably the last time. You know? Who else? I don't know.
I couldn't even name 10 white players.
Well, one of the great white American players played for the Jazz.
A couple of them. A lot of them.
Yeah, you got Stockton.
Probably like 80% of the great white players in the league played for the Jazz.
Yeah. Bill Walton, Larry Bird, Havlicek.
Pistol Pete?
Yeah, Bob Cousy, Pistol Pete. Bob Cousy's way back, but you got
Karl Malone.
Karl Malone is white.
After what he did, we don't claim him anymore.
Yeah, we don't claim him either, man.
He's white now.
Karl Malone is Malaysian. Karl Malone is Filipino. No one's gonna claim him until someone from the Filipino community tells me that they don't claim him. Karl Malone is Filipino.
Luka Doncic is at least an A.
Yeah, I think it's like, I'm okay with that.
Were you thinking B?
I was thinking either high B or low A, but I'm okay with it.
A minus is still an A, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm okay with A, with Luka at A. No problem with it.
I feel like he got something, you know?
I feel like Donnie is either high C, low B. Like, he doesn't talk, really. He's just an operator. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I
C tier for
feel like he was more of a killer when he was with Utah. I mean, now he's just a great player, but in Utah he was like a killer.
Right. Same with Darius Garland. Let's go let's throw up a C tier right there. The Cavs do not have a lot of aura on their team. Not a lot, man. We got 2 C's and an F. But I'm gonna put Mobley at the top of F tier because I feel mean. Like, I find Cat and Jason Tatum like actively cringy, so I gotta put them lower. Jimmy Butler, that might be S tier.
Yeah, it depends on what side of aura we're looking at.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler pulled up with emo straightened hair that one day. He's Michael Jordan's bastard son. Triple J.
Jackson Jr.
That's a mid D tier if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, is that Pascal?
Yeah, we got Siakam right here.
Yeah, he's not very high either.
Yeah, low C. Probably. Pascal in Toronto was cooler, but Pacers, Siakam, you're not moving. Alperen Şengün.
I mean, he's a great player, but
Yeah, Yeah, let's go like Alperen Şengün. Wemby, that's gonna high B, low A. High B because he cried after losing in the Olympics.
Did he really?
You could have been, yeah, you could have been. You could have been low A, but you cried, and you're French. Sorry, man, you're French.
Yeah.
I like Wemby a lot, you know, but you're French, so. Same deal with like Shea. It's like I want to give you the attaboy, bro, but you're Canadian.
That's crazy.
You are Canadian at the end of the day. Everyone says he got aura, but he is Canadian. All right, so Norman Powell. Where is Norman Powell, Coogii?
Come on now, you know where I'm putting him.
Norman Powell.
he's an ass, baby. Fringe all-star, fringe aura. Yeah, he needs his own role.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hold on.
Norman Powell watch row.
Yeah, Norman Powell is in the tier above. Let's go. He's just all the way up here. I'm typing this with one hand, so forgive me. Norman Powell. The tier above them all.
Norman Powell.
Okay, so here's our tier list.
I'm start calling him Norm. We're on a first name basis, a half first name basis.
Yeah, of course. You're on a nickname basis. You get to shorten it. So this is our list as it stands, right?
I know I'm tripping. Oh, that's why we waited. I was like, I could have swore we put Shea on there already, but we waited.
No, we waited because this is where I'm going. I always see that Shea has the best aura. And it's like, okay, here is a good list of like where aura ranks. Do we think that Shea has more aura than Victor Wembanyama? I pose it to you.
They're comparable.
That's a good point.
I mean,
do we think he has more aura than Luka Doncic?
No.
No way.
I rock with it. Yeah, I would give him that because I feel like Shea's been more I think aura. I see again, aura is a lot of different things, but I think a moment's a lot too. And like I could think of like those moments where Victor showed an aura. Shea just had more over the course of time, more consistently.
I could see that. Yeah, that's the thing.
I guess you could also look at it from a marketing perspective too, like who's most marketable.
Yeah, I think that adds into it.
But then again, Victor's way more. I feel like Victor's more marketable.
Right, of course. Direct correlation to like, who's at the top here, and they are a lot of them are just guys that are super marketable.
Well, we got two that aren't, but it's because of their own doing. Kyrie and Brown, they're not marketable because of who they are.
Because they're politically outspoken. These other guys, it's like the only reason Jason Tatum gets marketing opportunities is because he just won the championship. The commercial ever was that they were making fun of how goofy he is.
And when he got drafted.
Right.
Taco Bell.
Got drafted in a Taco Bell commercial. That's all I need to say. The rest of these guys, you're not going to see them in a commercial. Guys, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. Go up higher, and it's like, all right, yeah, Wardell, that's a commercial guy. Giannis, commercial guy. LeBron, obviously. Jimmy, yeah. So, I mean, Ant is an actor.
And now that Luka's in LA, he might get some more opportunities. Kim Kardashian. Yuka Johnson and Kim Kardashian.
Of course, Yuka Johnson and Kim Kardashian. I think that's pretty good, though.
No. Oh, I love the top. I'll market him myself. I'm telling you.
You're the number one Norman Powell on standby.
Nah, bro. I hear you. I'm telling you. Stand by me. Stand by me. Darling, won't you?
Harder than we do. I have been converted to the Church of Norman Powell.
No, I told you. Norman Powell and LeBron James, they got to link up because I want to walk into church and I want to walk into church going, I'm talking man in the... Oh, I'm
talking about the men on the Lakers. There's two of them.
That'd be a great...
I'm asking you to say their names.
If you go to church and the first song they sing is Man in the Lakers, are you leaving? No. Bro, I'm standing up and I'm going there. Oh, baby. But anyway, Johnny, we're going to wrap up. We're going to wrap up with a couple questions. Couple questions that people need answers on. Not the full segment, but, a little couple for the people. So the first question, Johnny, the people want to know, should people stay in unhappy marriages for the sake of kids?
Depends on how unhappy your marriage is.
Elaborate. Paint a picture.
Here, two things, I think. One is depends on how unhappy your marriage is, because it's like, UConn has officially beaten USC.
Oh, you're wrong.
Yeah, of course. If your husband's punching you, ladies, get out of there. Take the kids and run.
That's extreme.
You don't need to stay there. And it also comes down to how capable are you of being single parents? That's a real question. Maybe if you can't hold it down as a single parent, either one of you, maybe you shouldn't break up. In this economy, I don't think so.
In this economy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a child of divorce, and I feel like it didn't negatively affect my life that bad. I think if my dad and my mom were married still, that would suck. That would be terrible. That'd be an awful time growing up that way. So, I don't think divorce is that bad, but it really does come down to how big are the problems and how capable are you of being a single parent.
Yeah. Do you imagine all the people in the future and they're like, Grandma, why did you marry Granddad? And they're like, in that economy back then, I wasn't leaving.
I wasn't leaving.
Crazy. I think that for the sake of the kids, you should either make that unhappy marriage a happy marriage or get out of that unhappy marriage. No, I don't think... There's not many situations in which it benefits the kids to see two unhappy individuals that are unhappy with each other, possibly unhappy with themselves, showing the prime example to that child of what a relationship's going to look like in the future. It's not a very good precedent to set. Ideally, you don't have to split up. But to your point, Johnny, I'm not a huge adversary for divorce. It's not like, it's going to happen. Not to everybody, but if it happens, it happens, and you got to go through with it and do it. But, sign a prenup. Sign a prenup. Because half of nothing is a lot less than all of nothing. So
I got 2 words for you. Steve Nash and Chris Paul must see TV. No, I got 2 words for you. 2 Christmases. Easy.
2 Christmases. Okay.
2 Christmases.
2 birthdays?
2 birthdays.
Do you do Easter twice?
Sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And in the early phases of it, your parents are still competing when they get divorced. They're competing to see which one of them you're going to love more. And really? So they're going to clash a little bit. And they're going to try and outperform the other one.
Yeah. See, I didn't get 2. My mom wasn't trying to compete. She just disappeared.
No. Yeah, you didn't get lucky in that one.
She's like, peace, nigga. Oh boy. Yeah, she went and got a glass of milk. Anyway, Question number 2, Johnny. The people want to know. Should you involve friends / family in your relationship conflicts, whether it's platonic, non-platonic, or friendship otherwise? Should you involve family and friends in your conflicts?
What do you mean involve? Like go to them for advice?
I guess that's up to the extent of which you would determine that level of involvement. But I guess, yeah, you could argue, okay. So, like, I mean, full-on involved, I guess. Like, they know every detail of everything.
I think it's fine to do it if they are not a mutual friend. Like, if you don't want to put somebody in a bad place, like where say you and I are having beef as hosts of the Couch Coach podcast, and say the former third coach, I went and complained to him about it. It'd be messed up because he's friends with both of us. It'd be like, all right, well, what are you gonna do now? I don't think you should go to mutual friends and complain and give them the whole story, because it's like you're giving them info that they don't necessarily need to know. But if I went to somebody who had no idea, who wasn't tight with you, and went to them about it and was friends with me, who cares? They have no stake in this. They're just giving me advice as a friend. You know what I mean? I'm I think it's selfish to go to a mutual friend. All right, if you're in a relationship, you go to a mutual friend, that'd be messed up.
See, I imagine you were talking about a friendship relationship. So let's just say you have a girlfriend, or let's say you have
a girlfriend.
Let's say you have a wife.
You have
a wife. You guys get in a real big fight. Are you gonna involve your mom in it? Are you gonna involve your dad?
I'd go to my mom and talk to her about it theoretically. I mean, okay. By the way, as far as I'm concerned, I hold it all down. I don't tell my business to anybody if I'm in a fight or anything like this. I hold it all down. I don't think anybody wants to be a part of this or cares about it, and I don't want to bother anyone with this stuff.
Yeah, please don't bother me.
Exactly. So me personally, nobody. Hold your shit down. You know what I mean? If it's not a real problem, I don't care. Hold it down. Get your shit right. But your own mom, sure. When you say involve them, that's goofy. If I was hey, mom, tell her, hey, listen what my mom has to say, actually. Hold on, I've got her on speaker. Then you're a loser.
Mama,
but
got Mama Hogan on the phone. Said nope.
Yeah, exactly.
Over. That's hilarious. That's funny. No, you shouldn't. Well, you can talk about it. I think that
you can go to people for advice.
Well, for advice, I think it's a two-pronged thing, though. You have to understand where the advice is coming from. I think that oftentimes, right, even my own, I know the friends that I can go to, when I actually need advice, that'll give me the advice I need, versus the friends I can go to that'll give me the advice they think I want to hear. So, for example, your friends and family, they're going to come from a place a lot of times of not seeing you want to get hurt, but also wanting to be on your side, right? So I don't know if that advice is 100% unbiased, right? For example, if I'm in a huge fight in a marriage, and I talk to somebody about it who is either single or divorced, I'm going to get very different advice from somebody who is in a happy marriage. It'd be very different advice. So I think you just need to take with a grain of salt who you're getting that advice from. But I also don't think you should, because here's the kicker. Let's just say me and my wife get in an argument, right? And I go and I'm upset, so I'm talking to John about it, talking to all my friends, family. The issue is, if me and that person work that out, now everybody that I've just talked to has a view of that person from that argument, from that fight, even though we've worked past it, which makes it tough to move forward, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I think you should fill them in on the conflict after it's resolved.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least
I think you go to like, you want to have one person. You don't want to like tell everybody.
Well, it's like asking a question. It's like asking the same question from 5 different people, and you get 5 different answers.
You don't need to poll the town. If you have one person,
what did you say? Hold on, what did you say?
Poll the town.
Is that a phrase?
Like POLL the town. Like ask every. No, I don't know. I'm just saying.
We're putting that on a shirt.
You don't have to poll the town. I don't know. I don't think it's a phrase. I think it's just you get what I mean.
Shit, I might not be hip. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's just a thing. I just said that.
That's fire. Pull the town. Yeah, guys.
Pull the town.
Long story short, don't pull the town.
Don't pull the town. You have one confidant that you hold it down. That holds it down.
Just pull your neighbor.
One confidant that holds it down, but don't pull the town.
Yeah. And described by that confidant as ChatGPT.
Yeah, just actually, yeah. Don't tell anyone. Just ask ChatGPT.
No, ChatGPT be giving the best advice. I'm telling you. Listen, if you need any relationship advice, go to ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
I'm telling you right now. Telling you right now. All right, Johnny. Last one. People want to know what has gradually disappeared over the last 10 years without people really noticing, aside from disposable income.
You go first. I'll think about this.
I had one. I was thinking about this the other day.
Oh, I have a good one.
What happened to layaway?
That's interesting.
Like, no, seriously. I remember I went to the store when I was a kid one time, and me and my mom, we bought a bunch of shit, but we didn't buy it because we didn't bring it with us or whatever. Or maybe we did, and we came back and paid for it later. I don't remember. It was a weird process. But I said, Mom, what is this? Because we walked to the back of the place. I remember they had like the, back when in the stores they had the Ronald McDonald on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the store. We go back. We brought all our shit to the back. And she's like, oh, it's layaway. And it's where you pay shit off gradually over time. But I've never heard anybody in the last decade say, oh, I'm going to go put it on layaway. I'm going to do this.
Online shopping, I think, is what made layaway go away. You know, it's online shopping. Must be.
Maybe more easy access to credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently, layaway became big in like the 2008 crash.
Right.
So, it makes sense. But yeah, that's one thing I noticed. Layaway. Maybe it's the stores I go to, but I feel like I don't see nearly as many samples either. Yeah.
This is one I notice not with myself. Like, not with people our age as much.
Okay.
But people that are like 2-3 years younger than us is where I start to see. Like, I see it with my brother, who's like 2 years younger than me, and people around his age. I see it all the time. We have lost attention spans.
Yeah.
To the point where, especially younger people, like, you know, people in their like early 20s. Like, really, you know, like 21, like, don't watch TV and movies anymore because their brain is so fried from the social media vertical real content farm. I see this constantly. Like, people that are like, oh, yeah, I don't watch TV. It can't hold my attention. I'm like, oh, your brain is fried that you can't like watch television. Like, I'm like, I have diagnosed ADHD, bro, and I can watch television. Like, it is not that like you've done something irrevocably bad to your brain. Like, I'm like, you know, I got like executive dysfunction sometimes, and like if I'm not on my meds, I lose things. Like, you know, there's all this fun stuff. Like, you can't look at something for 30 minutes. You can't look at like a show with pretty colors and flashing lights and fun sounds for 30 minutes. That can't hold your attention. You're cooked, brother. You're done. It's over. Pack it in. How are you gonna have a child? Like, yeah, I think the attention span has disappeared. Doesn't exist.
Why is your kid outside running around by himself? Couldn't hold my attention,
actually. I'm fucking scrolling through TikTok, watching I'm watching the entire I'm watching everything. I'm watching Inception in 61 minute 2-minute chunks on YouTube Shorts right now, actually. So it's out of order 1-minute vertal chunks is what I like. That's how I consume.
You say out of order? Oh my god!
Out of order.
That's vile.
I'm just saying, bro. You see that? Oh, do you ever see that? Like on the reels, like they'll put like a clip from a movie, and it'll be like clip number 42 of 80. Like people upload full movies into reels.
Oh my god.
It's so funny to me. It's over for the attention span. I can't even imagine what a current like 15-year-old attention span is at this point. It's got to be fucked. They got to be absolutely fucked.
Power to them teachers, man. Power to them teachers.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, these YNs, man. These YNs.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna wrap it up, Johnny. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Couch Coach the podcast, featuring an all-star staff of the best to never do it. Remember, without a couch, you're just a coach. Without a coach, it's just a couch. With both, you're one of us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you got some shit to say, leave a comment. It's Johnny, it's Coogii, your favorite couch coaches. Till next week.
Peace. Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5.